This is Jeremy Wentworth-Stanley. I'm the fellow who has a hyphen in my name. The hyphen is silent, but I am anything but that. This is Jeremy Wentworth-Stanley, and we are engaging in a new series. It's called the Asset Growth Series, and we divide it between two sort of corridors. One deals with business, one deals with life. This is a life one that I'd like to share with you. And the life heading to this episode of Asset Growth is Lord Nelson. And many of you will say, who on the earth is Lord Nelson? Lord Nelson was the admiral of the fleet at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. And it's actually worth looking up. He was quite an interesting character. But the reason we bring Lord Nelson to the table today is this. Lord Nelson was the commander at the Battle of Trafalgar. And he did two things that were rather interesting. One was he had an eye that didn't work, and the signal went up on the mainsail to say that the fleet was to turn around and not continue with the fight. He puts his telescope or his eyeglass up to his eye and says, I don't see any such signal. And then as he's preparing to go into battle, he sends another signal then to the troops, to the sailors. And it says, England expects that every man do his duty. Now, all of this may sound like some sort of imperialistic throwback, a sort of colonial reliving, and there's nothing to do with that. I want you to take a look at Lord Nelson, Horatio Nelson, because he did two things. He put up a spyglass to his blind eye, or putting it another way, he turned a blind eye to what he thought. I think we all do that. We turn blind eyes to things that are going on around us, things that we would choose to ignore perhaps, things that we would rather not think about, things that are too painful. And whatever those things may be, Nelson did something very interesting. He puts up the eyeglass to his blind eye and says, I can't see the signal to retreat. But then he takes action. And it is the action that I'm addressing with us all today, starting with me. And that is that whatever I may be blind to, if I am going to express a blindness or allow myself to be blind, I also then need to be able to say, here is the action. In my case, the action is respectonomics. Your actions may be all kinds of recoveries or restitutions or renewals, regaining something, but it is a word of action. So if you want to say, I don't see something, then let that also be the litmus test or the catalyst to taking action. And the next thing that happened was Nelson, put up the sign that says, expects every man to do his duty. And duty is a word we don't hear very often. But I want to talk about duty in the sense that duty has a certain beauty to it because it is the counterpoint, it is almost a paradox, a contradiction to the sense of entitlement. It says, no, I have a duty to be resilient. I have a duty to stand up on my own. I have a duty to make the next move. Duty is something that results in maybe part of the action. It may be, well, yes, I was blind to something. I'm going to take action because that is my duty. But I want also to leave us with one final comment on duty, and that is the duty to oneself. There is no greater duty in this human orbit than to oneself. Because if one expresses duty to oneself, one is taking stock of all of one's wonderful assets. We talk about the Asset Growth Series. That asset exists within each and every one of us. It's been said, but in fact, I think it's true. The human brain has the capacity of 3 Wikipedias. We have phenomenal potential. And we have a duty to release that potential, not only because if we've been given something that's so wonderful, we should take advantage of that blessing and that advantage. But also there's another thing. When we express our duty, when we allow our potential to be put out there. It brings pleasure not only to ourselves and contentment, but it also brings great prosperity and contentment to other people. And in a world that seems to be in one of divisions and silos and self-interest and who knows what else, what a wonderful idea that my sense of duty can be one that allows my potential to be used in a manner that embellishes your life. And I'm asking, and I hope, and you'll let me know, that Respectonomics is indeed embroidering and embellishing your life. That is my duty. This is Jeremy Wentworth-Stanley. I rest my case. And if you wish to connect with me on this, of course, wide open, jeremy at respectonomics.com. Thank you.